We will discuss all these things in a separate session. So now let us take a look at the basic charts. What are the charts that are available, and what are the types of filters are available in Power BI? How we can enable the different types of filters like visual level filter, page level filter, and report level filter. All those things we'll take a look at it. First of all, let's try to understand what is data visualization, why data visualization is required. Why do I have to use data visualization? So we have the data that is available in Excel, but we cannot simply go through the go through multiple sheets to or multiple pages to the data which is in the tabular form to understand what is happening. It takes a longer time and it is boring, and we might tend to make some mistakes while going through those tabular type of data. Okay, so the data visualization allows us, or the data visualization, right? As part of data visualization, we are generating the charts. We are generating the charts. Irrespective of the volume of the data, we plot the data in chart graphical format. Even though the volume of the data is very high, just by looking at the charts, we'll be able to gain insights in a matter of jiffy. And also, our human brain process visuals much better than any complex tabular forms or reports, right? See, the visualization allows the decision makers, the stakeholders, to grasp even complex trends or spot new patterns in a simple way. For example, let's imagine you are looking at a graph and notice a big spike in sales on a particular day. Despite the fact that today, let's say today is not a festival day, you may be asking why there has been such a drastic increase in sales today. Okay, so let's say end of the day today, you are just looking at the sales trend, weekly sales trend. So you could see that there is a big spike in sales today. But today is not a festival day, but still we could see a dramatic increase in sales. Right? So and then after puzzled by seeing this spike, I realize today is a payday. Today is a payday, salary day, right? The customers tend to buy more, and they come to go to restaurant. They want to eat all their favorite items. So income is one of the factors that influence the customers purchase behavior or spend behavior. Basically, using this visualization, we should be able to tell the story. The visualization itself tells us the story, but our stakeholders, they cannot understand what certain visualization they'll not be able to understand because they are not tech savvy, or they are not trained on specific visualizations. I'm not talking about bar chart, line chart. Anybody can interpret that. Certain charts like Gantt chart and certain charts like bar plot or scatter plot, they are not trained on that. They do not know what exactly scatter plot, what is the purpose of scatter plot. Okay, so by looking at the chart, we should be able to understand, and by relating the external factors, internal factors, and other aspect is like we have discount, right? So how the offer recently we launched driven more sales, whether the promotional campaign which we launched recently led to any increase in my sales. We can do some kind of analysis by looking at the chart. Compare my present promotional campaign with my past promotion campaign by plotting the sales, right? Comparing the sales and profit, you can you can drive a conclusion. So whether my promotional campaign was really effective or not. So likewise, I can quote n number of examples. Okay, in net data visualization is very much helpful, and it is very user friendly, and also the human brain process the visual much much faster than going through the table or data, right? So these are the types of charts that are available. This is just the tip of the iceberg, I would say, because a lot of visuals are available in Power BI, and also you can use custom charts. Certain charts, I think you need to buy it, you need to pay and buy it, but it is really worthwhile buying certain visuals. It's really helpful. But you have a lot of visuals. With the existing visual itself, you can do wonders. To start with, we have something like a line chart. Line chart is the very, it's a commonly used chart. Almost even a layman can understand what a line chart is all about. So we use line chart to understand the trends. What is the sale trend or purchase trend, right? So we can understand with the, basically to do the trend analysis, we use a line chart. The line chart is nothing but a series of data points, right? It's all represented by dots and connected by straight lines. You will see in the subsequent slide, and also we will see what is bar and column chart, clustered column chart. All these type of charts will take a look at it, and side by side we will use Power BI and explore how we can use these charts. So what is a line chart? Having one or more lines that correspond to category data values. This is the definition. Okay. So using line chart, we can compare trends over time. Look here, what is the sale this year and what is the sale last year? Compared to these 2 years sales, where do we stand? We can see that by March month this year, our sale went high compared to last year, and again sudden dip we could see that, and it is going down, and again it is steadily going up, right? So there is a see here compared to last year, there is a we cannot say overlap, right? But still here the March month we could see a spike in sales, and again a mild valley here, again it goes, and again valley, big valley here. Suddenly it has fallen down on July, but now it is going up. So this makes me to, or this urges me to review my upcoming months trend also. Right now I'm a bit concerned here. July month it went down, I could see a valley here, and it goes up. It's a positive sign. One way it is good, but compared to last year, even the last year, from May month onwards, there is a steady growth in sales, but here it is not like that. But now it is going up, but we need to constantly monitor for at least the next 3 to 4 months to understand whether we can see the upward trend or not in the sales. So with line chart, we can easily compare the trend, right? So we can compare the trends over time. So what is the last year trend? What is the current year trend? With this, we can easily understand. And also bar and column chart. Bar chart, all of you are familiar with that. The bar chart is very much helpful in terms of comparing the data values across categories. Okay. So you can compare this category with this category, right? So for example, this is your accessories. Let's say you sell across various divisions in your shop. You sell electronics items, apparels, and you sell you sell the computer related items, right? Computer related items and other items also, right? Like cleaning products. Various line of business or various department in your company, you can see where the sale is. You can do comparison, right? You can comparing data values across categories. The simple difference between this one and this one is, supposing if you are plotting the date, month or something like that in your x-axis, then you can use this one. If your x-axis values are bigger one, lengthy one, right, then you can go for the horizontal bar chart. Okay, so what exactly the column chart? Column chart is also called as a bar chart only. Okay, it's columns are varying length. It represent data values. So when should I use it? When should I use bar chart? So this visual works best for comparing data values across categories. In that kind of situation only we can use it. So we can compare different categories or track changes over time, right, using column and bar charts. So a bar chart is made up of horizontally stacked rectangles. Okay. So it is called column chart. When they are vertically aligned, we call as a vertical aligned we call as a column chart. Okay, both of them are interchangeably used, right? In simple term, both of them are same only. Okay. And next one is clustered column chart. When can we use clustered column chart? See the bar chart, bar and column charts, right? So these are used regularly in visualization. This is basically to compare two or more values, right? So in that case, right? So now clustered column chart. What is clustered column chart? Here you can compare two values side by side. Two values side by side. So what is my last year sale and current year sale? Right? What is my last year sale and current year sale? Right? So you can compare two values side by side, or more than two values also you can compare, right? So two or more than two values also you can compare in the case of clustered column chart. Okay. And next one is scatter plot. This is to show the relationship between two quantitative variables, two numerical variables on the x and y axis. For example, in the x axis we have something called sales, and y axis we have profit. Both of them are quantitative variable, which is nothing but the numerical variable. Are there any relationship exists between sales and profit? Are there any correlation exists between these two variables? To understand the correlation between two variables, we use scatter plot, and also scatter plot helps us to identify any outliers in your data also. Okay, any outliers in your data. Here, right, so I have copy pasted the screenshot of the scatter plot. Here you can see the bubbles here, right? So if you don't see the bubbles, right, so here by increasing the size of the each plotted value, we have an option called size in Power BI. In the size, if you drag and drop the specific columns, right, values, it will be in the form of bubbles. Okay, so they call this also as a scatter the bubble chart. Okay, so basically the scatter plot is used to identify or distinguish outliers, correlation and categorization in two sets of data. For that purpose we will be using scatter plot. And also we have something else called the combo charts. So okay, so in this visual, so what do you infer from this? What do you infer from this? In this visual, we have two variables plotted here, sales and profit. As the sales goes high, 0.5 m, 1 m and 1.5 m, the profit is also going up. There is a strong relationship exists between profit and sales, because as the sales goes high, the profit is also proportionally increases. So this is the insight we are getting it from the scatter plot. And also we have various options are available in Power BI in order to understand in detail, right? So to get different or various perspective about my data. Okay, we have something called ratio line. with the ratio line also we can find out uh, right, so whether the values are falling far apart from the, or how far a certain point deviates from the overall, right? And also having the quadrants, we have something called quadrants, right? And that is also helpful to gain some additional insights or perspectives about my data. What we will do is we will directly jump into Power BI and we will start to work on the visualization part. So I'll just go here. See, already the data are available now here. And for example, if you on the left side pane, you can see all these things, the fields here. Let's say if I select sales and drag and drop it here, this is column chart. This is my column chart. Here, if I wanted to see the year by sales, what should I do? If I drag and drop here, can I get year by sales? Yes, we can get year by sales. This is a simple column chart. Okay, if I wanted to get the stacked bar chart, so this is my stacked bar chart. Here it shows 2011, 12, 13, all are same. Okay, let me do one thing. Here it shows something different. Yeah. So here sales, again you need to make sure that you are using proper values in the axis and values. Here one is categorical, another one is the value here. Okay, this is what your bar chart. And for example, if I wanted to have it the horizontal bar chart, you just select this one, it will become automatically horizontal bar chart. Supposing in this case it is fine, let's say you are using your plotted categories, category by sales. In that case, what will happen? The category names are very bigger. In that case, you can go for this one. Next one is stacked column chart. So you have stacked column chart. Anyhow, I don't have, let me do one thing. I just put something region or something like that. Look here, this is my stacked bar chart. So what it shows is all the three categories are stored, plotted in each thing. Instead of showing three different bars, right, it shows everything in a single one. So this is the one is for my office supplies, and this is the one is for furniture, this is the one is for technology. All these three categories are stacked in a single bar. So this is for my furniture. On top of that, the office supplies got stacked, right? So it's a rectangle. Each rectangle for the corresponding categories stacked on top of one another, right? This is my stacked chart. And bar chart and scatter plots, you're already familiar with this, right? And we have something else. I think this is the one already we discussed, a line and stacked chart. This is a very interesting one. So the line and stacked chart is located on the right side of this one, right? Right side of my report canvas. So now let us try with the line and stacked chart. This is the one I'm talking about it. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll just click here. See here, what I do is I just go up and I will pick up some value here. Yeah, so instead here I just drag and drop the quarter. Okay, and this is my shared axis, and then I'm going to use sales. And also a lot of formatting options are available. So this is my axis. This is where you can specify the x-axis value and what values for values column. In this case, the sales is the values column, and the column series is my category. Certain things logically by looking this one itself we can understand, but formatting option, this is the one is helpful in terms of formatting your charts. For example, you have data label, you can enable this one by selecting this one. For right, you can plot the values on each chart itself, okay. And then you have something called total label, and here, one second, if I disable this, what is happening? Look here, the total for these things is plotted on top of this one. And we have something like zoom slicer. The slicer is also available, okay, for the year, right? Select the years, you can do it, but usually we don't use this slicer and all. Lot of options they've given here, and title is on, but when you expand this one, you can specify your own title. Sales by year and category. Sales by year and category. And heading here, what you do is you can specify the background color also. So I'll select, instead of using the dark color, I'm going to use this color, okay. And here what I'm going to do is I'm going to, the text got disappeared since I used the background color as black, because the text was also in black color, as hence I'm going to use the white color. Now it is good, but the title, so the font size needs to be increased. I'll be increasing the font size, and then what I do is this is the alignment. We can select this one so that it will be in center. The title will be in the center, okay. And similarly you can do it for this also. Let me do it quickly here. So for this one, for this one also, one second, for this data label on, but you need to have a bit patience to do this one. Especially designers, they like this kind of job. You can increase the text size. We are done with it. Okay, what is the idea of this one? The line and this one, right? So line and stacked column chart. Here we have used the line as well as the bar chart, column chart, right? The combination of these two. Both the line chart, the profit and sales shares the common axis here. Shares the common axis here. So let's say I'll just select this one. Here common values sales and line values profit, and here column series, okay. Here the shared axis, this is what I'm trying to say. So both the sales and profit uses the shared axis, which is nothing but the quarter in this case, okay. You can use here also, but I have used a quarter here, okay. And also with the help of data labels you can enable it, and you can see it both the profit as well as the sales. And now with that, with this value you can understand, for each quarter what is the ratio of profit compared to my sales. I want to find out the ratio or percentage of profit over my sales. Also you can find out. Already the values are there in percentage, I think, in profit column. If it is not, you can convert as a percentage value, and with that itself we can get a quick idea, so how much percentage of profit that we have made it. Okay, so this is one of the interesting chart. So this is also called as a combo chart or combination chart, combo chart or column chart. It's a combination of bar chart with lines. Okay, and next what we will do is we will try something else. Map. See, you have something like map and we have filled map. So this is called Bing map compared to filled map. This one is very much good. The resolution, when it comes to resolution, this is very much helpful. This is called Bing map. Okay, here what I do is I'll just simply country, because the map will have country and sales. For example, we have or profit, or I know, for example, we will use sales itself. So you can do the title, everything with the help of format. You can do formatting, and if you hover the cursor here, you should be able to see each country related sales. Okay, right click to drill through. Okay, you can do drill through also. Okay, so drill through, we'll see it in a little later. Okay, so we have a drill through option is available. That is common in almost all the reporting tool. It is not specific to Power BI. That is available in Tableau and other, even the traditional reporting tool also. The drill through option is available. Okay, and here what we will do little bit formatting here. So look here, I just select the bubbles. I want to make the bubble size little bit bigger. Okay, to get the complete thing. And map controls, here map controls and zoom buttons. I just want to enable the zoom button. This is what you can see. For example, with this you can zoom it, right, or you can zoom in, zoom out. You can do zoom in and zoom out. And you have something called geocoding culture. This is auto, leave it auto. And map styles is very good. The default one is road. You can use Arial. Little bit, it's a bit darker. Okay, and you have like dark and light. Likewise, different themes are available. The best one is the default one, road. It is not so it's not so contrast, right? It is okay, it's pretty decent. Okay, I don't want to make it so jazzy and fancy. This is enough. And next one is map, and the next thing is the tabular visual. Okay, tabular visual, we have used it during the course of this training program several times. The tabular visual is very much helpful in terms of troubleshooting or testing the data. Importantly, testing. Okay, instead of saying troubleshooting, testing the data, right? So whether the data has been correctly summarized, aggregated or not, whether the measure is getting splitted correctly or not, right? So those kind of things we have used it. And I'll just go and put it here. Here the year value is something wrong here. Okay, I have used this one, right? Yeah, I should have used this one instead of this year. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. Splitting correctly. Okay, and I'll also put the profit. Okay, so table is a very simple one, right? So it's basically for testing purpose we will be using this one. and we will see what else we can do with tables. And for example, I just want to see we don't have any other hierarchy here. We will create some hierarchy also, or else for the time being I just drag and drop this one category. Okay, and category wise, the table is we have something called matrix. We have seen matrix several times, right? I shown you matrix. I've used matrix in the previous sessions. The difference between table and matrix visual is very simple. Table is two-dimensional, whereas matrix is multi-dimensional. That is the beauty of matrix. With matrix, you can you can use multi-dimensional. You can get multi-dimensional view. So that is the advantage of the matrix type of visual. And the same thing, what I do is I will just convert that as, again, you have a lot of this one is available, very simple one. You have something called column headers. You can increase the font size, all the things you can play around with it. You can try all these options, okay. And also we have something called conditional formatting. This is very important. Conditional formatting and field formatting is also available. And the conditional formatting, one second, let me just, conditional formatting, here we have a year and off, on, we can give the background color on. And see, when I just disable this, sorry, okay, it is, so it automatically opens this box, right? Here you can do some kind of color coding, okay. So here the format by color scale, and you have something called rules, the field value and rules. And okay, we'll go step by step. The lowest value, for the lowest value, whatever the lowest sales value is there, right, highlight those low sale values using this color, and for the highest sales you use this color, okay. And or you can use some other value also, but here you are limited to specify only these two colors, lowest value or highest value. Now let us just select OK. Okay, so this dark blue, right, is the highest value. Okay, sorry, we have done it for year, right? I made a mistake here. Yeah, let us do one thing. Sales. This is for sales, not for year. See, conditional formatting, right? You need to be a bit cautious here. It will list out the columns. For which column you need to set the value. So, but here again, here 2012 is not the correct one again. So that is something wrong here. Let me do one thing. So you have advanced control here. Just go here. And I don't want to color scale, right? I don't want to do anything here. Okay, let it be there. Okay, so let us do one thing. I'll go and do it for sales, and let me do one thing. Yeah, I just did Control Z. Control Z will work here, okay. Sometimes you can use Control Z in this one. So what I do is I just go to format, because here it doesn't make any sense to do the conditional formatting. Based on some condition, you can highlight the low, medium, high sales values with different colors, so that it can gain a quick attention of the viewer. For example, here is not making any sense, right? Setting that one background color, I just click this one, and advanced control will, you can see, so when you enable this one, advanced control link will be enabled. You select this one, and instead of using the default one, okay, let me use the default one. Look here, the darker color tells me that these are all the high sale value, right? And these are all the high sale value. And the low value, well, say low sales are in lighter color. The darker the color, higher the sales. Lighter the color, lesser the sales. The moderate color, blue color, those are the medium sales. With this, we should be able to quickly understand the which year we are doing well. So 2014 and 2013 we are doing good, right? So other option is you can set some limit here, right? So you have something else called rules. If it is if the sum of sales is greater than or equal to 0 or less than or equal to, let's 5 lakhs, anything less than 5 lakhs. Okay, I'm going to make a mistake now. Okay, now 5 lakh 1. So anything less, right? So anything between 10 lakhs, use some other color like like this color, amber color, something like that. And next, new rule here. So what mistake I did here? So here, and this is the one, anything above 10 lakh 1, right? And here then say green color. So green is not available here. What will you do now? So select more colors, and with this you can green color, right? So find out the green color. So this one, you need to move this one from here to here, green color. See, now the green color is available. Okay, or you can specify the color code explicitly here. Just do some googling to get the color code and simply copy paste it here. You don't have to do, you don't have to drag like this. Okay, you can get the appropriate color. See, I got this green color now, though it was not available in that palette. I just selected from there, so I was able to get this one. But now my OK button was not enabled. Something wrong here. What is wrong here? Percent, right? Here it should be number, and here it should be number. You can use the percent value also here. Okay, so 0 is less than 5 lakh, and 5 lakh 1 is less than this one. Any value falls within this range, highlight it with this color. Any value falls within this range, highlight this color. That is what we are saying it. But still it is not enabled. Something wrong here. So see here, if something wrong, it will show. Please check the logic of this rule. So what is the problem here? So here okay, here it is 50 lakhs, right? Five lakhs, okay, anything less 5 lakhs, sorry, 5 lakh 1, right? So this is 5 lakh 1, sorry, it is less than or equal to is greater than or equal to this one, and is less than this one, right? And I don't know why it's giving this error. So can you make out what the problem is here? So the number, right? It is number, everything is a number here, is less than, let's say, if I say more than that, yeah, 10 lakhs, right? See, unless you specify the correct value, the OK will not get enabled, right? So if there is a mistake here, for example here, you can find something like that. You can please check the logic of the rule. But if you select this one, it will not be helpful. But we need to check this one, right? So manually go and check it. So obviously between 5 lakh to 10 lakh, anything is there, put this color or this color. Okay, now let us see what happens. Yes, the color got changed. So we can see more few greens and a few amber, and we don't see any lighter blue color. Okay, similarly you can set the conditional formatting for profit and category also. So not category, profit, sales and profit. If you specify this, it will make sense. Next one is the column headers, font color, background color, all the things you can do it. These are the common thing. You can also do it. Field formatting, whatever you cannot do, which you need my help, I will focus now. Totals on, and column headers, grid. Yeah, you can use grid also, vertical grid. You can use some kind of line here, okay, and that kind of thing you can do it. Yeah, that's it. So this is the thing, this whole thing. But again, you can likewise, like I did the uh, font size and font color, whatever the font, like you watched here, right, how I increase the font size. The same way you can increase the font size here also. Okay, you can increase the font size also here. I'll just simply copy the same, copy, right click and copy visual, and you can go to the next page also. Or if you want to increase the space here, what you do is, select, double click on the empty place of your canvas, report canvas, and go to the format. This is for overall page. Okay, I want to increase the page size. Here the typical the 16:9, and instead of that I'm going to select custom and increase the height to 1280, so that I can fit some more visuals here. Probably you can increase the width also. So let's say 1540, sorry, 540. Increase the width, but this became very small. Okay, so we will. There are some standard sizes also available. I will share that also. Okay, and even the color codes, which color themes are available. All the color themes, everything is available. You can use it. The list of color themes also is there with me. I will share it with you all. This is very, this became very small. It doesn't look good. If I increase it, right, too much of size, and here the height I will say 900 or so. Yeah, it is okay now. And you know very well cards are helpful to specify the important value or the metrics, KPIs. For example, total quantity sold, what is the cost of goods sold. To know those kind of metrics value, you can, how many number of units we sold. So that one, for that kind of purpose you can use card. Card is pretty straightforward. There are certain quantitative values they wanted to see it. The sum of quantity, say, the sales value or sales value, revenue, and cost of goods sold, and expenses, and units sold, how many number of units sold. So this is the code with the, so there is nothing nothing more to learn about code. You can, even the format you can do, you can probably change the title, right, to quantity or something like that, right. So you can do this one. What is the difference between card and KPIs? So what is this? One second, this is my KPI. What is the difference between card and KPI? Can someone type it in chat window quickly? Managers should be knowing it. You must be using various metrics. Why it is not showing me the metrics KPI? This is KPI only. This is sales, is the, yeah. or I'll use simply the measure sum of sales. Yeah, it needs both value and trend axis are needed. Fields for both value and trend axis are needed. So what I am going to do is the target goals, right? Add data fields here, and here what I'm going, yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just use something like year, okay, 1.21. So the trend axis, see, if you make a mistake here, right, automatically you will find something called I. The information gives you some kind of information, right? You made some mistake, you are not able to. So that means with this you should be able to understand. Fields for both value and trend axis are needed. So all the things you cannot remember it, certain things, right? So what I will do is I will just put here in trend axis. So now I'm able to get this one. But still, we have something called target goals here. The card is helpful to understand quickly how, right, how many number of units we sold so far, or for this year. This year, how many number of things. But again, year on year, you can use a slicer by applying the filter using the slicer. We can, this value will get changed. For example, 2011, when I select it, I'll just select slicer here. I'll just put slicer here. This is my slicer using which you can filter the data. You can apply the filter on all the visuals. Here what I am going to do is I am going to use year. I'll just drag and drop year, and here I have something here. You can use this one also, okay, by changing the year 2011 to 2012. It's blank, no sales. Okay, one second, let me just use this one. I am a bit comfortable with the list. For example, 2012, how many quantity we sold? It says, oh, something wrong. 2011, do we have, zero value there? 2013, I think some blank values are there. We need to check that one. I'll be clearing this one, and we'll select 2013. For 2013, this is the value, and for 2014, blank. Okay, and something wrong here. Okay, let us do one thing. We'll select 2013. Okay, what value that I use is sum of quantity, right? Okay, so okay, let it be there. Okay, so this is what they need to know. By selecting different, or by selecting different here, the corresponding quantity also they can see it, 8040, right? And one second, let me just check if there is a link is there, otherwise it will not work. Date and order date. Okay, fine. Here sum of sales by year, this is my KPI. The difference is we need to specify with the help of the KPI, we wanted to track the actual versus target. So this is my actual, what is the target? So for this, we don't have any column available in my data set. What I am going to do is I am going to create a measure here, just to mimic that. Okay, something like that. So this is the target. So where are we standing? So are we on track with the target, whatever we set, or are we falling behind? Okay, so this is the target sales. I just drag and drop it here. Target sales value, right? So this is the one. 1.21M. So what is the goal? The goal was the 5% of this one, right? So okay, that is not the correct thing. Target sales value. So target sales value is 0.5. That means, right, we are ahead of this one. Or else let me do one thing. Sales. Yeah. So this one, right? So this one will give me some value. Sum of sales. This is the one, and I am going to use the parenthesis here. So 0.5 instead of that, right? Yeah, 0.5 is okay. 0.5 of my sales plus this one, that is the target. Let us assume that way. So in this case we have achieved more than 100%, right? So here we are falling behind. So what I do is, probably instead of putting big number, I'll say, just 0.1 will not make sense, or 0.12. 12 will not make much difference, right? Yeah. Again, it's a big value, right? It's big value. Or let's simply put it this way, right? Hypothetically, let's say, we are super achievers. My members or team members are super achievers. This is syntax. Yes, correct only. Yes, in that case we are good. So the actual was 1.21M, but what was the set expectation target? The 50% of this only we expected, right? 0.12 only, 0.12 of this one only we expected, but we have exceeded the expectation. We exceeded the target value. So that is what we can say. So using KPI, key performance indicator, we wanted to track actual versus target in simple term. That is what we are doing it. When I select 2012, it has gone. 2014, it has gone. It is trying to refresh to only 2013 only we are getting it, and somewhere the filtering is not happening correctly, or any filter is there, external filter, nothing is there, right? Let me just see here. Okay, and only 2013 is working. In this thing, right, I used many other visuals. Maybe because of that it is doing filtering, I don't know. So let me clear this one. 2013 it is working fine. Okay. But that is again on page 2, and that's why you need to use separate thing, otherwise okay, for the time being let us ignore this slicer. Okay, I'm going to delete this, remove this slicer, external slicer. Okay, now what I do is we will try to understand the different types of filters. Okay, so here sales and profit by quarter, right? So here quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, we have used this one, right? Filters on this visual, what I will do is I'll just select this one, basic filtering. Listen very carefully. I just selected this visual, This is my filters pane. On the filters pane, what I do is I just select this one, and then I just select quarter 1 and quarter 4, quarter 3. Okay, and here I just, so this is called your filter, visual filter. We are applying the filter on this visual. Whatever, so this filter is local to this one, only for this visual. Okay, and I'll give you another example. Okay, so if you don't want this visual level filter, I'll just clear this one. I'll take another good example. For example, here we have a category in both the thing. Sorry, here we have used country, right? So what I will do is I will just drag and drop the country also here. In this visual, I will just drag and drop the country. We are trying to understand the difference between different types of filters. This is also, they will ask you the interview, what are the types of filters: visual filter, and page filter, page level filter, and across reports filter, report level filter. These are the 3 types of filters. Let us use this one, table. I just selected this visual now. Now, so here if I look here, right, so here country is there, and here I just select this one. I just select Afghanistan and Barbados, Bangladesh, Bahrain, and Cameroon and Cambodia. That's all. See here I applied filter on this visual. So you can see Afghanistan, Albania, Afghanistan, we can see Bangladesh also. Did I select Bangladesh? Yes, Bangladesh also I selected. Bangladesh, Bahrain, or simple. What I am going to do is I am going to clear this one. I am going to select only 2 countries here, Afghanistan and for example, because United States I have more value, the good value there. The sales value is high there. Okay, hence I'm going to Afghanistan and United States. Only these 2 countries we can see it. Can you all see this one? I'll just maximize this so that you should be able to see it very clearly. Okay, and probably I'll increase the font size also. Sorry, here the only style we can do default. I will use bold header. Yeah, so this is another beautiful feature. Okay, alternating rows. If you give like this, it will be like this. Okay, alternating rows. Or if you don't want the style, you can use this one looks so jazzy. Okay, and here best thing, right, we can use bold header style. You can, or you can revert it. Okay, so okay, Afghanistan and United States are available, but here in this visual, here also we have used sales by country. Now we have applied the filter on Afghanistan and United States only, but this filter got applied only at this visual level. It is not applied on this one. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to select this one. I just double click here. So filters on this page, we have an option filters on this page, filters on all pages. So these are all the pages. Okay, all pages, all the pages, whatever filter you applied, that one should get applied on all the pages. No, I don't want to apply all the filters on all the pages. Instead, I want to apply the filters on this page, entire page, for all the visuals. Okay, so what I do is I need to select the country here. I just select the country and I'll just put it, drag and drop it here. That's all. For example, if I select Afghanistan, look here, this map visual is getting changed. And if I go down here, United States. So North America and Afghanistan, right? Only these two we can see it here. So Afghanistan, these two. So now the filter got applied on the entire page. But here we did not use any country. So we can also use country here. Okay, country here. So not, yeah, country, right? So it, the small multiples, I don't want that column series. Yeah, here you cannot put, one second, shared, okay, shared axis, right? Yeah, this is shared axis, you cannot put it there. It's not sharing both. Yeah, so blindly we cannot put it there. What was that? One second. Small multiples. Yeah, I just removed this is stacked bar chart, right? Okay, here we can category, we cannot, not category, country. United States. Why United States? Because United States and Afghanistan. See, the filter got applied here also. See, actually I should have dropped it here. Instead it got dropped here, small multiples. That's the reason why it was not showing correctly. Okay, since we are using hierarchy, we can see the drill up, drill down, or down arrows got enabled here, right? So now Afghanistan and United States, and here also the United States and Afghanistan, the filter got applied on this page, entire page. So now I will clear this one. Just I'll double click on this one, and if I clear this one, this is what page level filter. For example, if I apply, look here, this value also getting changed, right? Earlier with that it was not changing. Fine, yeah. So if I select if I clear this, everything got cleared. The page level filter got applied here. Fine. So now you understood what is page level filter. So page level, whatever the visuals that you have it here, so that one will get applied here. Okay, and it will get applied. And visual level filter, select a specific visual. If you want to apply a filter to a specific visual, what it is, go to the filter pane and then look at the axis here. We have the quarter, right? We have something called quarter column, and whichever column that you want to apply it, you can apply it. Okay, but usually, yeah, this is what we can use it, right? Even in the sales also we can do it. But usually we apply filter on the categorical variable, right? Categorical variable. So now we understood visual level filter and page level, sorry, the this one, yeah, page level filter. And one second, let me clear this one. Filters on this page, visual level filter on this page. Whatever the filter you apply, that one will get applied to the entire thing. Okay, and the next one is filters on all pages. Supposing I just copy paste this one to the next page. Control C, and you can Control V. I just select matrix. Matrix looks pretty decent. Here what I do, I go back to page 2, and here what I do is filter on all pages. I'm going to select this one. Here I just copy paste country here. Sorry, I'll just drag and drop this one. If I select Afghanistan, for example, I am going to select only one country here, Afghanistan. Only Afghanistan is there. Here also Afghanistan. Here also Afghanistan. And here it is not updating it because we don't have the country here. And here it is updating it, right? And page 3, next page. Here the country, one second, let me just. So I'll just expand this one. See, Afghanistan related data only, we can see it here. So across pages. So for that it's very pretty simple. So in the filters pane, there are 3 options are available. I'll just clear this one. I'll remove this filter. In the report canvas, on the right side of the report canvas, we can find the filters pane. Just beneath this, you have filters on this page and filters on all pages options are available. The filters on this page, whichever column you want to do filter, you want to apply it, right? So you need to drag and drop it here to enable this. So whatever the filters that you do it in this thing, in this section, only those filters will get applied on this page only. Okay, so if you want to enable filters on all pages, instead of dragging and dropping it, the country column, what I did, I just dragged and dropped it here, so that whichever visuals that you are using country, right? So that one gets reflected here, that one gets applied across pages. Got it? So, and visual level filter, obviously you have to select the visual, whichever visual that you want to filter, you need to select the visual manually and then select the column, and you have basic filtering. Here also you have different options, advanced filtering, top in, like as different filterings are available, right? It contains using right and operation, you can specify some condition based on which also you can do filtering. So simple, we'll start with simple thing, basic filtering, quarter 1, quarter, any specific thing, whatever the filter you apply on this visual, it will be applicable only to this one. The rest of the visuals will not get refreshed. This is local to this visual, that's all. This filter is local to this visual because you have selected this visual and then you are applying to this one only. There are filters on this visual. Now you understood the difference between these 3, right? Okay. Next we have something else called scatter plot. We will start work with the scatter plot. So as I told you, scatter plot is very much helpful in terms of identifying the relationship between 2 numerical variable. That is the advantage of using the scatter plot. What we will do is I'll just use here, we don't have space. Scatter plot is also very much helpful to finding the pattern in your data. That is the reason why I am just spending time in showing that one. I'll just put it here. So this is what scatter plot. And here I just put sales and profit here. X-axis, the first one, whatever you drag and drop it there, that one will be considered as the x-axis, and the next one is your y-axis. The subsequent one will be your y-axis. Here what I am going to do is, we have different options are available here, and play axis, we will see play axis a little later, and the legend what I am going to do is I am going to just drag and drop the category, something like that. Category, and what I will do is I will just put here in this details. Look here, Now here we can see the different colors, the corresponding legend for each color we can see it here, and the x-axis we plotted sales and y-axis we plotted profit. So what I am going to do is, since these circles, right, are not so visible, I just go to the format window, and here we have something called shapes is also no, yeah, shapes. In the shapes you will find size. When you increase it, that's all, it will become a bubble chart. The scatter chart became a bubble chart just because of increasing the size. Okay. And also what you can do is, you have a column called size here, right? What you do is, you can put the sales here also. Okay. Alternatively you can put this one also. Ideally we need to put it like this, and here you just go to the shapes and you reduce this one. You don't want to have too big size. Larger the size tells us more the sales, smaller the size tells us the sales is lesser here. Now obviously when you look at the axis, the scale value here 0.6 m only, right? So as the value goes high, you can see the size also slightly increasing it. Okay, and here in the format, a lot of beautiful options are available here, and here you have something called plot area, and not this one, border, shadow, tooltip, visual header, and background. So background, color, and zoom slicer, and x-axis, y-axis, general. The general, one second, I just see, I need to go to the analytics. So this is called analytics. So far I did not show this one. So this is my axis and this is my format, this is my analytics. Okay. Here what I do is, I'll just go and select something called average line. I'll just select average line, and I'm going to add something like I'm going to add a measure here. Okay, sales, the sales. Okay, and I'm going to add another thing like for this I'm going to use a measure profit. Okay, you can see something like this, the diagonal thing. We have included in the analytics thing, we have included two average line. One line is for sales and other one is for profitability, right? So this is where it intersects, the sales and profit, it intersects here. And on the right side we can see this one. So we have, in simple term, we have created 4 different quadrants. You just think that way. We have created 4 different quadrants. So what does this tells us? What does this tells us? Higher sales, higher profit. Higher sales, higher profit. What does this tells us? Lower sales, lower profit. And here, this one, right, slightly the sales is right, here also the same thing, right? So lower sales, lower profit, higher sales, higher profit. What does this say, tells us? Can someone tell me what does this tells us? See here, when you go up, profit is more, right? Your sale is also more. Higher sales, this is 1.6 m the sale, and the profit is between 200k to 250k somewhat, right, approximately. Here higher sales, higher profit. Here higher sales, lower profit. Sales is more, the profit is less. In this case we could see that it created a form of kind of a quadrant. So here we can observe the subcategories with lower sales and lower profits, higher sales and lower profits, higher profits and lower sales. So here the higher profits, higher sales are in relation to the average, right, or in relation to the average. Beautiful insights. So here you can focus here. Why are we not getting more profit though the sale is more? Can someone tell me what could be the reason? Any marketing guy or any managers can tell this one. My sale is more but the profitability is not much. And also we have the other options like fancy options like a play axis. Here I'll just simply drag and drop the year. This is the year. I just drag and drop the year here. So this is kind of a animated thing, and when I play this for each year it shows separately. If you want to pass it, you can pass it. For example, I just pass it for it's not passing, 2014 and 2011, 12, it's keep on running. Okay, 1 second. 2012, right? This is the thing, we can see it. So we can create animated one, and also we are able to create 4 different quadrant. With that we are able to understand the pattern. This is an interesting insight, right? So now with this you can drill through to find out why the profitability is less though the sale is high. You need to do some kind of drill through. What is drill through? We'll see it. It's already 11. In the next session we will see it. And also what we will do is we'll try another option in the analytics. So this one is not available for all type of charts. For line chart, bar chart, this, even if you click this, nothing will be there. And what I do is I just remove this average line one and all. Okay, and what I am going to do is I am going to try ratio line. We have something called ratio line. I just try add. I just give some value here, ratio line, something. When I select this one, it automatically draws a line like this. Automatically draws a line like this. What does it say here? What does it say? This is a ratio line. In the case of average line, it created a dotted line between the chart indicating the average profit or average sales, right? That is what we were able to see. So in this case I have just selected the ratio line. This ratio line, it runs through from this origin, right? It runs from this origin. So it allows us to understand how far the values are deviating, right? Deviating from the overall. How far the values are deviating from the overall, right? So you cannot combine both average line and ratio line. It is not a good idea. So what we do is we just selected the average line. So how far the values are deviating. So for example here it shows something like 2 point. So how far it is deviating from the overall. Okay, so this is my 1.6 m and here 2.1k, right? So this values, if I hover this here, or if I hover this, my cursor on this one, the sales is 2014, right? So in this, which category? Technology category. It is deviating from the overall. That means it is really great. Okay, and the profit is 232, and you need to calculate the percentage. Profit divided by sales, you will get the percentage. Here 89,800, whereas the profitability is 2,32,000. 15 lakhs, whereas here 13 lakhs, not much difference, but here 2,32,000, here the profit is just 89,000. See here, this one also deviating from this one. Anything which is far away from this, right? This is also deviating, and this is also deviating. And let us see what this one is. This is 10 lakh sales, but 1,46,000. Here how much? Here the 13 lakhs. Look here, you can see the difference, right? Which category office supplies, though the sale is less than this one, the profitability is more here. See, it is deviating from the overall. Beautiful insight, right? The ratio line and average lines are really helpful. With this you can tell, see, this is how you can extract the pattern. This is called pattern mining, some sort of pattern mining, or it gives us the, it tells us the story, different story, which we never expected. See, it gives you the quick insight, right? See, in order to understand that, you need to create multiple reports, you need to break your head, or you need to write so many SQL queries to find out what is happening, right? This is furniture category, and what is this? This is my office supplies. So with this, obviously you can say, decide, okay, we can focus more on office supplies than this one. Can I do like that? But the profitability is very less here, but we have to invest more on this. So let's say if I borrow loan from bank, Arun Kumar, you will charge me like anything, the interest rate, right? The interest and profit, if you compare, right? I don't know, is this after tax and interest, is this a net profit? I don't know. If it is not a net profit, still you are gone, right? So look here, this is far better. So hope you understood the power of visualization and also the features offered here in Power BI. I don't know in Tableau. I think Tableau should also be there like this. Okay, it's already late. What we will do is tomorrow we'll continue the important advanced topics of visualization, like a Gantt chart, and also we will take a look at the bookmarks and drill through. Okay, drill through and drill across also, we can say cross filter. Okay, drill cross filter and sorry, this one, what is this? Let me just, I'm forgetting the terms. Okay, the cross report, drill through, and bookmarks and other advanced topics. We will discuss it tomorrow. All right. So, any questions so far? See, what I am planning to do, right? We keep on go on theory. I will probably, what we will do is this Saturday we will have a test. Instead of the session, we will have a test. And test is nothing but the assignments. I'll just show you my PowerPoint slide wherein you can find all the questions, you need to solve it. It can be a combination of all. So far we cover query editor, everything. All the data points are required for this. I will upload everything. The second part, right? First part I uploaded. Second part also, whatever leftover data sets are there with me, I'll upload it there. Use the data set to solve those assignments. So in class, problem solving, we will do that. Okay, this Saturday, that is the plan, and tomorrow we will continue the reporting part, and day after tomorrow, if possible, will show you other leftover thing in this one, visualization and other things. Okay, we'll cover that also. Any questions? Okay, since you don't have any questions, I'm going to, this is the part 3. I'll just keep it here, and yeah, we need to develop a dashboard. Okay, end of the day we need to develop a dashboard. We'll come up with various measures, some more measures, interesting measures, and then we will put it here, and we will see how best we can design the dashboard. Okay, we will use some images, all the things. Okay, but Saturday is going to be the test kind of thing, assignment and test, problem solving session. Okay, since you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session now. If you have any questions, you can WhatsApp me. We will continue tomorrow, same time. Okay. Most likely this Thursday I'll be completing it, this part. Okay, and next Tuesday and Wednesday we'll try to wrap up. Okay, with all the best practices and deployment pipeline, how to create all the advanced topics, right? Leftover we'll try to complete it, but don't think if I say I'm going to wrap up on next Wednesday, everything is over. We will see if anything else is required to prep you for the interview. We'll cover that also. Okay, we'll have a couple of follow-up session also. All right. Fine. Since you don't have any questions, we'll wrap up the session now.